Here we are. Hi, everybody. We're here. I am here with the lovely Tanji from Roman Biscotti and Robin from Toadstool Tarot for a... Oh, that's awesome. For a deck casual about the Aquarian Tarot.
It's a peace deck.
Oh, look at that. Oh
So
my gosh. Oh my gosh. So, all right. Well, and I did see the notice pop. So everybody, thank you very much for joining. Can you hear me and everybody okay? Can you hear it? Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. I think that's how I should start, you know. Yeah.
Is there anybody out there?
Oh, you know, I have to say I love my mother because when I saw the movie Yentl and I wanted the music and she bought it for me on LP, you know, and so here I am in high school, you know, lip syncing to Barbara Streisand, a Jewish boy, anyhow.
I love it.
So, okay. All right.
My
They
mom's
can
side
hear
is
us.
Jewish.
Yeah.
I think
Look.
Yentl is a requirement.
Something like that.
My mother said, "You're going to see this movie."
Yeah.
Hi, Robin.
Tanji is here. Zane is here. Hello. Ange. And Ange, let's see. Somebody named Tarot Stash. Jackie Jacaranda. Hello, Jackie. Good to see you. Francis is here. Hello, Francis. Toadstool Tarot is here. Hi, Robin. Are you typing with your tiny hands right now?
No, the big clunky ones.
The big clunky ones. Oh my gosh. Oh, look, and Jilly is here. Hello. Deanne is here. Hello, Deanne. You can all hear us okay. All good, Gerald. Thank you, Jackie. Sandra is here. Hello, Sandra. I am always happy to see you. Kristen Louise is here. Hello. And look at this. Oh, Jen from Jen Science to Soul in Transformation. And shameless plug, Jen and I are next Tuesday at this time doing a Wild Unknown Tarot deck casual. So you have to like and subscribe to be able to do that. Did I see Julie here too?
I see Sandra.
What?
Sandra.
Hold on. Oh, this is, you know, I thought I saw, okay. Anyhow, I thought I saw Julie here. Oh, look at that.
I don't
Dude,
see
I
her.
totally need one of those.
I don't see her.
But, oh my gosh. Okay.
You need a special one, though, Gerald.
Oh, Jonathan is here. Hello, Jonathan.
You need a.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Wow. Wow. Well, I thought Julie Kuchia Watts was here because I was going to shameless promote that next Monday I have a casual with Julie. And one of the things we're going to be talking about is the Journey into Egypt Tarot. So you're all probably subscribing. Oh, Sheila is here. Hello, Sheila. So okay, and Sandra really likes that one.
Thank you, Sandra.
So I have a small one that my brother got me. Yeah, it's the kids one. So anyhow, Andy, the wildflower is here. Hello, Andy. Sadhana must be finished. And Andy had a nice little reading on Jonathan's channel too. So it was all cool.
So did I. It was wonderful on Jonathan's.
Yes, you did. And Jonathan, she has not made the phone call yet. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
But Debbie is here.
Oh, bang on.
Yeah.
Hi,
Debbie is here. Hello. Gosh. Okay. So everybody, we're here talking about the Aquarian Tarot, which is by David Palladini. And It is available through U.S. Games. Robin, is yours in the tin too?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Okay. So all of us have it in the tin. And okay, Tanji, tell us about your connection with the Aquarian Tarot, if I may put you on the
Sure.
spot. I'm going to sort of embiggen you and do it that way.
Thank you, darling. Okay, so when I was born in 72. I know the deck, the original Aquarian Tarot by David Palladini, came out in 1970. My mother had a copy, and when I was 5 or 6, I don't think I was 7 yet when I first, because I would go into her room, hippie mother, she had beads and stuff and tarot cards and cool stuff. So she had the original one. And I love anything games and cards. So I would, look at it and play with it, not knowing what it was. And I was drawn to it. And then by the time I was 9, when we moved to a farmhouse, she had an attic type area with, crystals and cards and incense and everything. And her deck was there and she was out. And I went to go look at the deck. And all I remember was the backs of the cards were drawing me. And I felt like, like a Harry Potter Horcrux. I was like, oh, I need to touch these cards. But they were the big original ones. And I got sucked into the energy of it and would love to play with them. And then my mom would say, I noticed you got into my cards. And I'm like, maybe. And I'm like, I love them. And she's like, do you know what they are? And I'm like, they're cards. She said, no, they're not any regular cards. These are special cards. And then she would explain to me. I forget what she said exactly, but I remember her taking the time to tell me and then would leave the deck with me and go make food while I was sitting there playing with the cards, now knowing more what they were. I was more intrigued. What do you mean they're fortune cards or what's tarot? What? And so
yeah,
I would just get sucked into the beautiful imagery, and I'll never forget that, when we show our favorites, this is what drew me into the world of divination. Was these cards. Yeah, I have a special connection with the Aquarian Tarot.
Yeah, that's
and if
incredible.
anyone has an original copy they want to trade for a Bibliomantica, let me know.
Well, I was just looking at the chat, and I'm going to bring and big in all of us and put me in the middle. Sandra has this one from the 70s, not the one in the tin. So it may be the original one because I'm reading the information, and it was published originally in 1970, and then 93, and then 2016. The copyright is for U.S. Games, and it is by it is illustrated by David Palladini. So because there's also the Palladini tarot deck, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So Kaz is here. Hello, Kaz. Kristen Louise says this deck reminds me of the style of children's books when I was little.
He did do children's books too.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
He's done a bunch of art and children's books. I was reading again his bio last night, and it's mind-blowing.
It's the original one that Sandra has.
Do you ever want to part with it and make a trade, Sandra? You want like 2 Bibliomantica books?
Would you like my left kidney?
Free readings for the rest of your life?
Yeah. Jonathan said, I don't have this deck, but I've seen it many times. So
I used to have a 96 deck. No, 93 deck, but it disintegrated after I used it so many times. And the only one I could get was this.
Oh, look who's here. Chris is here. Hey, fuckers. So, but Sandra's like laughing, and Kim is here. So, and Sheila loves this deck, and I actually used this when I did readings with Sheila a week ago on Thursday. So,
great readings.
Yeah, and it comes with it comes with a fold out. This one comes with a fold out of the meanings of the cards, and it does give reversed meanings, but it also gives a diagram of the ancient Celtic method of divination. You know, so basically it's the Celtic cross. So you're welcome. Let me know if you would like to be involved in a future deck casual. Send me an email, tarotstash@gmail. Shameless plug. I'm always shameless plugging, by the way. I love these. I love these. So, okay. So, Robin, you have an interesting story about something you've done with the Aquarian Tarot, right?
Oh, yeah.
Here, I'm going to embiggen you.
You're so cute.
Yeah, it was. It's what do you call it? A cautionary tale. Be really careful that you actually want to mod your decks before you actually mod them. Now, this deck, well, I have the same one in a tin, and just between us three, I never liked the backs. I mean,
oh, okay.
The pattern on the back, I think it's because it's not a bad design necessarily, but I don't think it relates to the rest of the deck. It's blue. There's no blue anywhere in the deck. So it doesn't fit the color palette, and there's no design in the deck that looks like this weird, chaotic pattern fish feather design.
And it's not reversible.
Right. Oh, is it? Oh, no, you're right.
No, it's not.
Yeah. And so anyway, and I also didn't like the white borders. So I thought, I'm going to trim off my borders. And it does look better to me without the borders, but it really kind of messes up the fronts of the cards. It cuts the labels, the numbers off a little bit. And I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have done it. And I thought about replacing it with a new copy just in time for this chat, because there was time to get it, overnight on Amazon. But because I don't like these backs, and I've done a little bit of research, they had several different earlier versions with solid color backs. And most of them had a solid blue, but they're all very pricey now. I did see one today on eBay, I think for about $90, which I'm not sure if I want to spend that much or not, although that's not really that bad. But I think it said that the blues, some of the blue backs were a little bit different color than the others, like a little less saturated.
And we were talking about that, and Tanji is showing that there's one on Amazon or Canadian Amazon for $5,000. And you saw one, Robin, you saw one on eBay for like 90.
Yeah.
Jilly just saw one from 70 on eBay for 225. Yeah. So, and Sandra is commiserating with you, Robin. It's like, oh dear, Robin.
So I don't know. I mean, I like the deck. I don't know if I love it enough to even dish out the 90. And if I did, would I be happy if some of the blues are darker than the other blues on the backs? I don't know. But I'm gonna. I actually put word out to Brant, because Brant can seem to find anything cheap in some yard sale or something. And so I'm waiting for him to kind of dig me up one with a solid blue back.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to do, I think.
And so, when I started collecting in 2017, prices were a lot lower. I have a red and orange back, Aurora Boris. Is that how you say it?
Nice. Yeah.
Plain blue back, and the present back in the original two-part black box. And Sheila said it's not her favorite either. And the older decks don't have a border on the back.
Right.
And thank you, Jackie. Look, Jackie's being that mod. Look at her. So, yes, Sheila, that is, our decks are valuable now. So, there you go.
So this is my little hand to the back design.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, David Palladini, you had all this beautiful palette of pinks and oranges and all these lovely warm colors. And why did you pick that blue for the back? I just don't get it. I mean, even the
Maybe-
same pattern, if he'd done it in his palette, might be
Yeah,
better. I don't
might
know.
be a little
Well,
different.
he made it in the 60s because it came out in 1970. So
Mhm.
maybe there's a
Right.
specific reason, which that's the one thing I didn't research was why he chose the backs. But
Yeah.
since he passed 2 years ago in 2019, I have noticed the prices have gone up on the decks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now
So-
I like, it's a very 70s deck. And the two things that
Yes.
it reminded me of pre-70s actually was, if any of you have ever seen the Beatles movie Yellow Submarine,
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
love it.
a lot of it
Louise.
has very much that quality, particularly the sun card. The face on the
Oh.
sun card looks
Yeah.
like a
Love it.
character right out
Yes.
of Yellow Submarine.
Mm-hmm.
And they
Yeah.
also remind me of Peter Max, if
Yep.
you know Peter Max's
Mhm.
designs. And then also, my train just ran off the tracks.
Ooh.
Uh,
And we're
The guy who
watching.
does the
Oh, I
festival
know, I know.
posters?
there was a book, an illustrated book of the Beatles song lyrics, illustrated by an illustrator named Alan Aldrich. And his designs were very much like David Palladino's and the Yellow Submarine imagery.
Wow.
So those three things, all those memories of those come back when I see this deck of the 60s, late 60s and early 70s.
Mm-hmm. Sheila said, I have the new Palladini deck as well. I think I have the new Palladini because where I was taking classes and where the brick and mortar for our Coven's High Priestess recommends the new Palladini if you're wanting a new to tarot and you're taking classes. She liked the new Palladini. So
it's got a wider palette. I think I remember some like yellow greens and I think blues in that deck. It's a little more modern.
I think so.
I think you did it in the early 2000s or something.
Yeah. So we all three of us have it in the tin. What do you think about the card stock in the finish and all of that stuff of the deck? I actually love it.
I do too.
It's typical US game stock, isn't it? I think
so.
And I don't find it too shiny or too matte. I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
For
I'm
the tin.
actually this is one of the other tarot in a tin that I have is the Barbara Walker. And I actually really like this size. There's something quite charming about it for me. And I know a lot of people are throwing it into their bags and all that stuff, but I'm pretty happy with it.
I love the Tarot in a Tin series. I have a bunch of them. Although I have to say on this deck, like I said, if it was the back design I prefer, I think I would like larger cards. I'd like to see the images a little bit bigger.
I get that. I get that.
I grew up with the larger ones too. And I had tiny hands when I was 6 and 7.
Yeah.
So the cards to me were massive.
But what's interesting is with these cards are so small, they actually make they look huge next to the tiny hands. I mean, and look at that eye. It's like ba-dum. Jamie's not here, so we can do stuff with the tiny hands.
Right?
So, yeah. So
Hold me closer, tiny
trimmed, they're even trimmed, they're even smaller.
Trimmed, they're even smaller. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it.
Love the hand on the wand.
just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just
smaller.
a little bit. It's very Italian, very okay. Chris asked, did anyone else get the Wild Unknown in a tin? I have it on order. I pre-ordered it, and it has it was supposed to arrive the first week in December, but now it's arriving the last week in November. So, but I know a lot of people in Europe already got it. Did either of you buy the Wild Unknown in a tin?
No. Who did that one? Is that
it?
It's not Chris Ann, is it?
No, actually, it is, you know, and of course, her name completely escapes me. You know, this is the one that Jen and I are doing a deck casual on next
Okay.
week at this time. And why can I not remember this woman's name? I am so sorry.
Every
Somebody is.
time I see that deck, I think of the
Thank you,
song
Chris.
from
Kim
Frozen
Crayons.
2.
Okay.
Into the
Yeah.
unknown,
Yeah.
wild unknown.
So, yeah, Sheila said the 22nd for her, and that's that. I think that's when mine. So, thank you, Chris, for.
I want to shake up Chris a little bit because in the mail today I got the new Chris Ann deck of Tarot of Curious Creatures.
So,
Wow.
why does that? Why would that upset? You know, stir Chris up a bit?
Because he's a big Chris Ann fan. I don't know if he's got
Does
this
he
one
want
yet
it?
or not. I don't know. It's very different from Light Seers and her other deck. It's very different. I don't know if he
Where
would
did you
like
get
it.
that?
I got it on Amazon overnight. It's pretty new. It just came out like
I didn't know
in
that.
the last week or so.
I didn't know
Tarot.
that it was out, and Tarot of Curiosities, Curious Creatures, or
Curious
something like
Creature, Tarot of Curious Creatures. Yeah, I'm gonna do
Yeah.
a walkthrough tonight, later tonight,
Yeah.
probably.
that. Sheila just got that one, and she said it's a great deck. And Kim said I'm waiting till payday to get a mini. And Jilly wants to know how Mindy's experiment with painting the wild unknown went. And I was actually chatting with Jamie earlier today, and I had mentioned something about Chris Ann, and we will get to the David Palladini, you know, the Aquarian Tarot. But she also has a Creator's Oracle deck. And I went on Hay House, and the Creator's Oracle is like 60% off, and the Curious Creatures is on sale as well. So I purchased both of them.
Ah,
And so Chris says, I don't have it now, Robin. I don't plan to get it currently. I'm not sure how I feel about it.
yeah.
Sacred Creators, thank you.
It's not
So.
as serious as her other decks. It's kind of like a 21st century J.J. Granville. It's like animals and people bodies and clothes, but really bright pop colors. But I won't say more about it than that. I'll tell you more in my walkthrough.
Yes. And
he's not the one who wrote Alligator Pie book, is it? Because that illustrating from Alligator Pie reminds me of those cards. Remember from the 70s, Alligator Pie was a very famous children's illustrated book. Well, for all ages.
I don't know. I'm going to do a search for that.
And
that book should be a tarot deck.
Oh, that creepy, eh?
No, it's just fabulous. The illustrations remind me of the Tarot of the Curiosities, or the
look
one
at that
Robin just showed.
Oh,
it says
interesting.
Dennis Lee and Frank Neufeld. No, I don't know.
Okay. If there was a tarot deck of Alligator Pie 70s book version, I would totally buy it. Totally.
That looks to me more like Richard Scarry and like, you know, little, what's it, the world with all these animals running around, but can't see.
It's more, it reminds me like that combined with Yellow Submarine.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or you know what it really reminds me of? Harry Nilsson's The Point, which that kind of animation.
Yeah.
That's a book I would like a tarot or oracle deck of. The Point. I know
Sandra,
all the songs.
Of course you do. Sandra is not a fan, doesn't like the look of the new Chris Ann. And Alligator Pie was written in 1974.
I am shocked. I thought Sandra would love it because it's real cute animals.
Yeah. Well, but it's not animals. They're animal parts on bodies. By the way,
the animal
Chris,
faces are really cute in it. The expressions are cute. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, look. Ange linked Alligator Pie being read to you. So, and by the way, Chris, it's 52 days before your wedding.
Aw, the countdown
52
begins.
days. I have actually put it in my calendar so that I have got that. Oh, look, Helen, the
Hey,
spiritual practitioner, is here. Hello, Helen. Glad to see you. And okay, so do you have any? Oh, and Sandra said, from what I have seen, I don't, Robin, but I will watch if you do a walkthrough.
Okay.
So, okay, yeah, okay. So, Robin and Tanji, do you have any meh cards or cards that we're less thrilled with?
Yeah, I got a couple I hate. Go ahead.
Okay, well, go ahead, Robin. Start us off with
Yeah,
what
you
you
go
hate.
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, start us off with what you hate, Robin. I'm inbigging you.
The one I hate the most is the devil. And I think it's because I don't like my devils looking bat-like. It reminds me of the devil, not the devil, the vampire featured in the Dracula movie that came out in the late 80s. Who was the guy that did that? You know the one I mean, that had Winona Ryder and what's his name in it?
Bram Stoker's Dracula?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gary
I love that one too.
But but that one, when he turned into the vampire, looked very bat-like, like this.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of ugly. And I don't mind ugly devils. I just don't like bat-like devils. So that card I don't like.
Okay.
I like my devils to look a certain way.
Yeah.
And actually, this is one of the cards that I actually pulled out that I liked.
Okay.
And what I liked about it is it put the emphasis on the devil, and you really have to look for the people in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate, I sort of liked that.
Yeah, I didn't even notice the people till now, actually.
Yeah.
All the times I've looked at it.
Yeah. So, but anyhow.
I don't have any cards that bother me. I mean, they're all like I've got my absolutely love these, and I've done art based on inspiration from these. And then the second pile is, that I was curious and they drew me in, and I couldn't stop staring at them when I was younger.
Sure.
But the rest are just what they are.
Yeah. You want me to jump to other cards I don't like, or no?
Hang on just a second. I'm going to get Kat up. It looks. Kaz said, "Chris, you're getting married on Elvis's birthday." Sarah is here. Hello, Sarah. And Sarah and I had a deck casual on Saturday, which was delightful. The Wizard's Tarot. And Sheila said, "I'm with Robin on the deck. I like it a lot." So I think that's the Chris Ann.
Yeah.
So, and Chris had a proper panic attack earlier, so we're here to support you. Chris asked Robin, "Have you seen Dracula Dead and Loving It with Leslie Nielsen as Dracula, Mel Brooks as Van Helsing?" No. It's hilarious. It's just hilarious.
I need to watch it again. It's been years.
Yeah.
I kind of like anything Mel Brooks. Spaceballs. I mean, come on. Defending Your Life. Great movies.
Yep. Bat as Devils is classic. RWS has a bat wings. Yes. Sandra likes it too, and and Chris didn't know that he was getting married on the birthday.
Yeah, I don't mind bat wings at all. It's the bat face, I think. Wow, I've always, although it's funny, there's a bat face in this Chris Ann deck that looks really cute, but this one, just it's like a hairless bat face or something. It creeps me out.
Tanji, do you want to share a deck that you're either, just share a card. We'll just go random like that. How's that?
Okay. Well, the number one all-time fave card that I couldn't stop touching because it kept, when I was 7, I kept, randomly pulling cards, and it constantly kept coming out. So I was obsessed with this Lover's card.
Mm-hmm.
Here, let me embiggen.
That's one of the ones I like. That's one of the ones I like too.
Right?
I like that one too.
I can feel everything. I was always drawn to it. It always, even if I just picked up the deck, a card would fall out, it would be this card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the colors, the vibrancy. I taste and smell
Okay.
textures. So
Mm-hmm.
to me, this is what love tastes like. Now, I don't mean that in a weird way. I mean that in a beautiful way.
Right.
I smell meadows. I taste flowers. I can feel
Mm-hmm.
the love. I'm there. And this, when I was young, I was having past life dreams around that time for the first 7, 8 years of my life. And this, to me, when I saw it, I didn't know at the time. I was there in a past life. This was me and my love.
Oh, yeah.
And that's probably
And
why it kept jumping out at me to let me know that this is where I come
sure.
from. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. I taste love. There's a song.
I taste love. There you go. Yeah. And Jilly said, it's the way you want your honey to look at you.
Right?
Yeah. And I think this is one of those cards that really does epitomize David Palladini's style. It's very 60s, Art Nouveau-y.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Wonder what, do you see any images when you hold it upside down? Like a tongue sticking out? Like a,
oh, yeah.
like a psychedelic yellow submarine meet blue beanie's tongue?
Okay. And Chris said, looks like the guy has full armor on. Mind you, I dress in chainmail if a lady invited me into her boudoir.
Good line.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
he
and
looks very bird-like, actually. The back of his, it's almost like feathers coming out of
yeah.
the back,
Like
and
it's
the colors are
peacock.
like a rooster or a peacock or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
All right,
dreamy. I love it.
Robin, show us another card.
All right, another one I don't like. Sorry. I'll get the don't likes out of the way first.
It's all good.
I don't like the death card. And I tell you, it's weird. I think it's because of the weird red wig and chin strap. I don't wear a red wig with a chin strap. I like the face on it. And I guess most death cards, the death figure has a helmet on. But I don't know. There's something about this. I don't even know if it's a wig or a headdress, but I don't know. I just don't. It's a
I always
fashion.
thought it's blood. I always thought it was the blood coming out when I was younger.
I think it's just a fashion statement I don't like.
Okay, one thing I will say about this is, and I think I appreciate about the Aquarian Tarot, is we get a close-up of a traditional RWS. We
That's
don't
true.
get the full image. Because usually in the death card, we see death on a horse, or like in the Robin Hood Tarot, we see death in, with standing with the flag. And so I think that's something like, it's interesting. I appreciate it. And Zane says, looks like Voldemort. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I do like the face on this one. The usually we get a skull face with like sunken black eyes and nose and so forth. This one almost looks like there's a white veil over it or something.
I was thinking it was like they put white pantyhose or something like that, and they were doing a robbery.
Yeah.
So
I like that surface kind of image.
I
What?
got the image in my head of Death going to a bank with pantyhose on his face.
Pull,
Give me,
you know,
give me
I
the
could-
water.
yeah, I can see it. And Death, of course, would probably have really tiny hands and would have difficulty trying to get the money. Give me, Anyhow,
He keeps
Jamie's not
accidentally
here, so
cutting the paper money with his scythe.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah,
Ugh.
he does. Kristen Louise says he looks mummified. So, and maybe it's the size of the card. So, all right, Tanji, show us something that you love.
Okay, well, there's a story behind these. I'm going to show both of these. So the sun
story time.
card,
Which Robin doesn't like. Oh no, he likes it.
He loves it. And the star card, because I love peacocks, drew to me my whole life. So every time, consciously or subconsciously, I would do art. I would always draw the sun similar like that, but with wavy rays. But the face was always similar. The circles, I like to draw circles. And then 27 years ago, when I lived in this town at a different apartment, one day I was compelled to grab some paint and paint the door of my reading room where I would do readings and art. And I ended up combining the two, the sun and the star card, together on the front of the art room door. And it turned out really well. And when I was going to move, the landlord said, "Please don't take the door with you. We love it. Can we keep it?" I said, "Of course, it's a door. I'm not going to take a door with me."
Yeah.
And I wonder if it's still there today. I don't know. But it was these two images. These are my palettes of colors of choice throughout my life. They're just the basis, the core of my art. Whimsical, bright, camouflagey. It's food to me. I get hungry when I look at them. And I just think they're the best cards. I've always loved the sun and the star together. Yeah.
And I find it interesting that you have a peacock for the star. Isn't that an interesting choice?
It's my favorite star. And that's my favorite card, is the star card of all decks.
Yeah.
I like the liberty he took with the fonts too. You'll see from card to card that he changes the fonts around, and it's interesting what he does with that.
Yeah.
Uncle Badger is here, by the way. Hello, Thomas.
Hi, Thomas, Uncle Badge.
So,
don't you just find these yummy? It's like supper and dessert in one, or breakfast and dinner. I don't know. I want to eat them, but I want to.
Kim, the Moon Whisperer, said that the moon is actually my favorite from this deck, and here's the moon. So, and I do like that moon. So, actually, folks on the panel, was Tanji wand going to be a thing? I asked for video making reasons.
Oh, the Wandathon. Are we gonna do that one day?
Oh yeah, we will do a wandathon, but it probably won't be until January time. Okay. So yeah, Jackie loves the moon too. So
when the moon hits your eye like a David Palladini card, that's the
there
moon.
You go. So there you go. So yeah, excellent. Thank you. What else do you have, Robin? Any deck?
All right. No, this is the last downer from me. This is the last card I don't care for, and then it's going to be all rainbows and unicorns. But I'm not fond of this sort of Burgermeister card here. This what is it? The Nine of Cups.
The Nine of Cups.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of don't like that character, but I don't like the one in the Rider-Waite either. So,
yeah,
the one that's usually called the John Travolta card. And here, I don't know what actor it is, but he reminds me of an unlikable character that's always in like medieval fantasy movies. Like somebody doing something unpleasant, or I don't know. I just don't care for this card.
His face isn't as expressive and happy as one might want for a Nine of Cups.
Well, it also reminds me, how everybody always complains about the creepy baby on the sun cards? This guy has a creepy baby vibe to me in his face. I don't know why. Just is.
He's got a little bit of Jack Black if he ate something and then didn't talk.
That's
so
true.
Uncle Badger was going to make... Uncle Badger, Tanji, was going to make some videos, make a set of videos of Tanji wands. That was going to be one. Uncle Badger, do that. You know, don't put that light under a bushel. Make that happen. I think that's cool. So, but
Yes.
um,
I've
and
made so
Ange
many
said,
ones I forget.
yeah, Ange said, I'm not a fan of the Nine of Cups in most decks, especially the classic Grumpy Grump in the RWS. And did you call him the Meisterburger from
Burgermeister. Yeah, it's always the character that's sort of like, it's kind of like the mayor of the village in Frankenstein or something. It's sort of like,
Well, yeah, but it's also, what's that Christmas story? The Year Without a Santa Claus, or no, one of the Rankin and Bass ones. Sorry, I cut you off, Robin.
No, it's just that he's always this sort of pompous authority figure, kind of usually in movies.
Yeah.
And it's like he's got more wealth than the rest of the villagers because he's kind of
Here,
in
let's
charge
do this
of
and
them.
be creepy.
And he's got more authority and
Robin, have you been good this year?
They're closing in.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay. Oh my God.
I love it.
I looked at a set of those, Robin, and now I'm like going, shoot, I should have gotten one. That's just awesome. So
He's got the emojis of tiny hands. I love it.
yes, he does.
Do you have an okay one, Robin?
No, the closest one is
Or
that
thumbs
one
up?
that's like, no, it's sort of like,
That's I crush you. I crush.
Crush your head. Crush. Oh my God, Kids in the Hall.
Yeah, love that.
Yes, thank you, Kristen Louise. Santa Claus is coming to town. And Tiny Fist. Now, of course, you know, I don't have stock in tiny hands or anything like that, but now I want a set of those, and everybody's going to do that. So
no, they're easily had. In fact, mine came 2 sets. So, and I don't need 2 sets. So I have a spare set, Gerald. Maybe I'll send it to you.
Give me a hand. Oh my gosh.
Slow.
All right. Yeah. Oh, tiny hand clap. I saw one that were fist bumps, right? Yeah, and that's something that Richie was doing. He has tiny hands. He was just using his hands and leaning back and doing this. Anyhow, we're talking about him like he's not here, so he's not here. But anyhow, okay, Tanji, what do you have to show us?
Okay, so this is very special because I always saw my mother, the high priestess. Always, that's all I ever see is my mother if she had that hat on. And the funny thing is, quick fun fact about me, my mother is my mother, but her cousin.
No, really? Your mother is your mother?
My mother is my mother. But her
when did that happen?
Careful, I might pee a little.
Oh my God. Okay.
My mother's cousin. You did. Who's my second cousin. She, for some reason, genetically, I'm identical doppelganger to her, except for the nose. But the cheekbones, the eyes, the hair, the size, everything else is exactly the same. And her name was Edie, but she changed it. So I always knew her as Edie. Edie looked exactly like this, but with my mother's nose. So I have my father's nose. So I see my mother and me and Edie, the three of us have very similar features. And I would always, for some, not knowing about what the meanings of the cards were when I was, 7 years old, 9 years old, I just knew psychically in my core, in my DNA, that this was my mom.
Nice.
And that's who she was. And I ended up growing up being my own high priestess.
And this is something that I have to in having. This is why I really like these deck casuals, because I really didn't. There was something about these cards that I couldn't put a place on. Place my finger on it. That was something different about it, and I think I said it earlier. And it's because they're close-ups. they're an enlargement of a piece of it, but
Like
you
portrait.
still get everything that you need that tells the story of that high priestess.
Yeah. I think the Morgan Greer is like close-ups too, but this has a very different vibe from the Morgan Greer.
I think I got the Morgan Greer last year, so.
And this is my favorite card too out of the deck.
Really?
And
Okay.
I think it's because I identify, well, I'm not really drawn to women, but I'm attracted to women with high cheekbones. And this one reminds me of this one reminds me of one of my favorite singers from the early 70s. Her name is
Cher?
well, no, but this woman I'm going to mention looks like Cher. Annette Peacock is her name, and she was a sort of an avant-garde musician. She was the first person to synthesize their vocals. And
Wow.
she was involved in jazz, and like Bowie wanted to like hire her to be on like his label and stuff, but she was too independent. But she did look a lot like Cher from the 60s. But yeah, I just but I really love, I don't know, I just have that personal identification with this card. It's like, you know, the one I idolize. But you know, I wanted to call attention to her hand. Isn't that a bizarre hand posture for those holding those roses? I have never seen anyone hold flowers or pencils or anything like that.
What is it? It is, oh no, dyslexic. That it would be.
Yeah, like that, Tanji. Like, yeah.
How do you, what? She must be, well, I'm double jointed, but I can't even do that.
Yeah.
How? What?
I don't know.
Just alien. I can't do it with that one. Maybe there's.
So Sandra asked Jilly if she has that deck, and she said, well, I do not. Maybe, and it's like, I do not. Here's the thing, Jilly. It's in a tin, so it's small, so it won't take a lot of space up in your tiny house. How's that? I'm here to help. Yes, the High Priestess looks kind of Lily Tomlin-esque to her.
One ringy dingy.
That too, yeah.
And by the way, I think Lily Tomlin, this is Gerald's opinion, not endorsed by anybody else, and probably not by him tomorrow. I love Lily Tomlin, and I think she is one of the most underrated comedians around. And she and her wife, are they wives?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Her partner,
her partner. They do some incredible work together.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really phenomenal. So anyhow.
And
I
don't know about America, but in Canada, I recently rewatched The Incredible Shrinking Woman. I found it on YouTube a couple weeks ago for free.
I'll have to watch that again.
And it's so, when you watch it like 20, 30 years later, it's such a different perspective, and it's so relatable to right now.
Yeah. And all of these are the ones in tins. We cannot currently afford one that was in a tuck box, so there is no tuck box rage here. Kristen Louise definitely sees Lily Tomlin, and Jilly agrees. I think she's beautiful, and I think one of the things that I'm going to go off on a tangent, so I'll stop.
So, I just wanted to say, though, for anybody out there interested in this deck that doesn't want it in a tin, it is affordable on Amazon in a tuck box, the new version. It's just the original old ones are expensive, but the new ones is like 21 or something. So you can still get it on Amazon, regular size in a tuck box, and experience the rage.
Okay.
What happened?
Jen has asked, who is Lily Tomlin?
Oh, they probably never had Laugh-In Australia, did
Wait
they?
a minute. She's an actress. You might know her in 9 to 5.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
and The Incredible Shrinking Woman, and All of Me with Steve Martin, and the list goes on and on. One ring a ding.
She was in Nashville too. She had a serious role in that one.
Did she? I didn't watch
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I agree. Andy was like going, Jen was like, I was waiting for this. And everybody's like, Google her. And Sheila remembers that. And I actually remember Lily Tomlin as, and we talked about
Frankie
this
Grace,
recently, as, I think Baby Biscotti, when she works the Tuck Box Rage hotline, sort of reminds, that's who she's going to be, Short Stash.
Ernestine.
So, yeah. Ernestine, yes.
Right.
So, and of course, Jen has never heard of any of those movies. And that's okay, Jen. I'm not going to give you a hard time because I've never watched The Titanic. I've never watched Dirty Dancing. And so it's okay.
Jen, Google on YouTube some of the clips from Laugh-In, because she had some great characters on Laugh-In, like Edith Ann, this little girl in a giant rocking chair, and Ernestine, the telephone switchboard operator. Fabulous stuff. Well, it sort of predates Gilda Radner, in similar style comedy.
Yep.
There's another great one, Gilda.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah.
Well, she probably doesn't know Gilda Radner either.
Oh, and by the way, since we're
Wilder
talking
and
about
Gilda.
Jen, next Tuesday at this time, Jen and I are doing a Wild Unknown deck casual. So, and I'm just, and Jackie is like questioning, and is that because of Gilda Radner? Oh my gosh. Okay.
Made Sheila blasphemy.
Simon is
Simon.
listening whilst edging a deck. Can't type much. I actually want to know what deck you're edging and how you're edging it. So, and okay, and Helen remembers her in 9 to 5. Okay, so while we're doing this and we're sharing some of our favorite cards, because Robin's no longer being a downer, right, Robin? You're all done. If you have this deck and you like a certain card, please put it in the chat. We can share that. And if you want to see a certain card, please do that. We'll be happy to do that. So,
can I
Tanji. Go ahead, Robin.
I was going to show a couple that I really like because it's getting late in the hour. The Hermit and the Fool, I really love. The Hermit is so gentle and he's not facing us, and he's got these lovely pale pink and purple colors, and his hood kind of reminds me of like one of the 7 Dwarfs or something, which I love those hats, and I've been starting to make them again, like I'm wearing one now.
Look at that.
And then there's something really stylish about the Fool. He kind of reminds me of like a 1960s cigarette ad or something. It's just like it's so cool, like Yardley's of London or something. Well, that's makeup though, I think. Virginia Slims. That was
right. You nailed it. I was like, why does this look familiar to me?
But yeah, there's just something about those that are, I just really love those 2 cards.
Ange wanted us to show the Hermit card. So,
so there he is.
Ange, by the way, we're psychic. There's the Hermit card.
Yeah.
I actually like his robe like that. I sort of want a robe. If I were to make myself a wool robe, I would want something like that. So it would look, be cool. And
have you ever seen a hermit like that? I mean, you can sort of see the lantern just a little bit on the edge, but he's like turning and walking away. We never see a hermit like that.
Yeah. Simon is finally edging the Llewellyn with Windsor and Newton henna. That sounds lovely. Look forward to seeing that. And Sheila loves the Hermit card in most decks. And Helen said, I am now starting to learn tarot. Would this be a good starter deck?
I think so. It was for me, but it called to me when I was like 5, 6.
It could be, Helen. I would also consider the new Palladini, the other deck that he did, because it's a little, they're not as close up as this. You get more of the images. But interesting, Helen. You and I might want to talk because I'm getting a download for you about that. So
Yeah, I'm not
weird.
sure about that. That was a really good question. I think I like to see action, full body action in the cards. And this one works for me because I know the RWS. So when I see it close up, I know what the action of the card is. But if I were brand new to it, I'm not sure if I would pick up on all that in all the cards, but they're beautiful cards.
They are
I guess
beautiful
it depends on your perspective. Like, I'm just a big child. I see things through child's eyes, right? So when I look at these kinds of cards, to me, it's fairy tale. I'm in this land, the Aquarian Tarot land, that tells a story where there's castles and bricks and mortar and flowers and just, you know, fabulous hair that nobody's got the frizzies at all.
Right.
And
Yeah.
everything's perfect. And to me, as a child looking at these cards, I just thought this is storybook come to life.
That's true. But this high priestess isn't like what we usually see in the high priestess. She's not consulting scrolls or books or any, she's not in study mode. You know, I mean, she may be studying that flower, but it's very different than what we usually see for the high priestess. So I'm not sure it conveys the same message. You know?
I think
But it depends
could
how
be.
you read too. If you're
Yeah, it
intuitive
does.
or by the book. It
And
depends on your sorry, Gerald.
No, go ahead.
Oh, it depends on how you want to read. If you want to read intuitively, symbolically, thank you. Maybe, you know, to thrust yourself into the feel of the cards, and you know, and then I'd say this deck is for you. If you want to do it by the book, you know, you're new to it, you don't know what you're doing, and you want to study it, RWS would be good for you.
Yeah. And Sheila said that she'd be willing to Zoom
Both.
with you. So matches the backs wonderfully, Sandra, because that's the color Sandra used for her Llewellyn as well. So, okay.
Also, I don't know, do any of you have the Moon Baby Tarot?
I do, not accessible yet.
Because I think
by the way, hold on. I'm going to get snarky. Andy also likes full body action too. Girl, we should talk.
I'm going to take a pee break before I pee a little. I'll be right back.
I think I needed to rephrase that. I don't know if it came across the way I intended.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not any better if I say full figure action, is it?
Well, and Jen said, I think it's one of the ugliest decks, but I love it. And, you know, I get that there is there's a feel for it, you know, it has a particular feel.
What I wanted to say when I mentioned Brant's Moon Baby Tarot is I think this palette is very similar. A lot of the colors that Brant used in his deck, although they're a little bit more vivid than this, but he used a lot of pinks and oranges, the way Palladini did. Right. And he based it on the hoi polloi, and I don't remember if that is basically those colors or not, but those decks are both from the 70s, I believe. So they're from that era, sort of using that 70s palette.
Is that true, Simon? I know you're edging a deck, but Simon is here. He would be able to do that. Helen, yes, I will, you know, I will try to contact you. And Andy said it came across just right. I am full figured and I love the full body action. We're all adults here, you know, not sponsored by, you know, and we are for entertainment purposes only. So
I love the Eight of Rods. I love, and this one reminds me of Yellow Submarine when the Blue Meanies attack, and there's all those bombs and things flying through the air. Yeah. But and the wands, I love how they have this beautiful floral kind of design that they're not I don't know, got flowers blooming. I mean, remember flower power from the 60s, you know, and all that hippie flower stuff. I mean, this deck is rife with that.
Yeah, and this is one the rods are very stylized because I have
Oh,
They're
hold on.
kind of like asparagus tips.
Excuse me, my end.
What? What?
It's just my end
Oh,
was glitching.
no.
It's good now. You're all good.
I actually have the Ace of Rods as one of my favorite cards. I'm going to put me in the middle because it's my channel. And I think one of the things that I like about this is, okay, Simon said, yes, both from the 70s. My hoi polloi is 73. Thank you, Simon. Appreciate that. And the thing I appreciate about the rods is it's the reason I pulled this out is because I like how it's flowering, and it's like it's but it's pretty. It's sort of like an iris as well. And Andy said asparagus tips and all these rods. It's just too easy.
And we don't usually see a color like that in rods.
Yeah.
This has sort of tricolor, which is really beautiful.
And Jen said that Ace of Wands is one of my favorite cards. I just love this, and it helps me.
It's sort of like Georgia O'Keeffe meets Peter Max.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, Sheila said I may put this one back into rotation. I've got a show tomorrow. Yeah. Georgia O'Keeffe. Yeah, love that. So that's one of my favorite cards. And I'm going to also share one of my other favorite cards is the Ace of Swords. And I'll tell you and Kristen Louise said this is more feminine. Usually the wands are more phallic. And so
that's true.
And I think you're right, because there is a delicate balance for like the Ace of Rods of masculine and feminine, or
especially this one.
well,
look at that one.
Yeah, there you go. Get your tiny hand on that one and turn out the light. So, but the reason that I like, get your tiny hand on that, but turn out the light. We don't need to see that, Robin. We don't need to see that, boy. We never did come up with a name for this character, for this stash. Snarky stash. So, but the reason I like this Eight of Swords is it's the first Ace of Swords that I've seen where this sword is pointing down and not up. So I'm just like going, well, okay. And I like that. I think it's pretty. But see, yeah, I mean.
This looks like you, Gerald. The two eyes, the nose, the stash, the mouth, and the
Can you see that? Do we look the same?
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, if you had a grill, you need to get a grill.
I need to get a. Oh shoot! My teeth are gone.
You need a Daddy G grill. Yeah.
There you go. Oh my gosh. So that's one of my favorites because I like how it's down. So Tanji, show us another favorite card, please.
I have like 6 more, but I'll show. Okay, so I showed the 10 of Pentacles. I embody this in my soul. I just know this to be true. In my core, that this is what I've had in past lives. This is what I seek and think I'll find this life. It's just family to me, with the little kid looking back going, do you want to come with us to the castle?
Yeah.
He's comfortable and they're happy. And I just feel the love. Can you feel the castle love?
Yeah.
Right. And then the 2 of Cups, which she's pregnant. I mean, I see Deanne here. I mean, come on. How gorgeous is that? Look, it reminds me of our beautiful Deanne, Blue Crescent. But I grew up knowing, okay, the 2 of Cups, it's true love. They're having a baby. And then all the other times as an adult looking at cards of Two of Cups, I never saw another pregnant Two of Cups. I saw, it was more for the Empress. But growing up looking at this, I thought this makes sense to me. With child celebrating their love, their union.
Right.
I love love. I'm a hopeful romantic. Okay, you know this. So love is love is love. And this just really screamed to me when I was younger that this would be the epitome of commitment. When I was like 6, 7 years old, right?
Yeah. So Sandra said it reminds me of the Day of the Triffids from the Ace of Rods.
Yeah.
So, and apparently, was it Grumbly Stash? Grumbly Stash! Stay tuned for Grumbly Stash's own show on this channel. Yeah. Oh
You
my
know
God.
what I just noticed about this deck flying through here? Do we have any milliners in the house? If you have a hat fetish, this is the deck for you. I'm just looking at these. There's about 1 million different hat styles in this deck.
There really are.
Maybe
And
that's why I love this deck.
Really unique. Every
Yeah.
single one of them has a different design, a different color, a different pattern. And I don't think I ever really noticed that before.
He did some research or something for it. Yes, you're right.
I don't think any of them are duplicated. Every single hat is different.
Yeah. Yeah. Did we lose Tanji? Did she just fall over? She's trying to find her hats.
Now I know why I was drawn to this certain type of hat, because of this deck was in my mind when I was looking at it.
Just flashing hats at everybody.
And by the way, Ange asked, do any of you three own the Hanson Roberts Tarot? And if so, do you like it more than the Aquarian?
I do not have it.
I do not have the Hanson Roberts. Oh, look at that.
Ooh.
Oh.
That belongs in this deck.
Right? I could maybe pull up the High Priestess card. Hold on, let's see. Let's
look
see
at that, people.
I have to work with. I can't get my headphones out of my hair.
I'm turning on a light.
Oh, Lady Juliet, it's time for your potion.
I love it. I love it.
Wait, what is it? Here is it. All my cards are everywhere. The High Priestess. She was completely covered. She had no hair, though, coming out.
And so, Jen said, Ange, I actually chose to buy Aquarian over Hanson Roberts at the time. There's just some cards in the Hanson Roberts I can't do. And Sheila said, I didn't realize I wasn't subbed, Robin. I have just.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
And Robin wants to know if anybody has the vintage version of from Make Playing Cards of this deck. I do not.
Who?
I do not.
We have another Robin?
No, oh, sorry, Simon.
Oh.
I think Tanji, you should wear that hat more often.
I'll wear it to go buy milk.
There you go. And a mustache.
I still want the one with the solid back. I looked at the one at MPC, but they're just kind of dingified. They're artificially aged. Maybe they're not even artificially. They're just like dirty. And it's still got the same back pattern. I want a solid blue or purple back. If I can find it, if anybody out there can put me onto one, let me know. I don't care
Can I
how.
just say, sorry, Robin.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, does anybody else, because ever since I saw the magician being 5, 6, 7 years old, all I thought was he was wearing a beanie, a propeller. So I grew up thinking the magician had a propeller on his head until my mom told me that's an infinity symbol, dear. I'm like, what's an infinity symbol? She explained it.
I think that cat tarot, there's a cat tarot that Simon showed that it's a cat with a beanie, but I don't know if it's the magician or not. It might be the fool. But
Thanks for
it's
joining,
funny.
Jilly.
It's funny that the lemniscate does look like a propeller a little
It
bit.
sort of
Right?
does now.
I love the
how I see
character
it.
of this magician. He's kind of young. He sort of looks like he doesn't have it all together yet for a magician. He looks like he's still learning or something.
He's got a
Or-
mustache.
Yeah. He's a little on the passive side, like he's waiting for whoever's on this side of the table to ask something of him or inform him or something.
Yeah, Simon, I need to look at that one again because I think I saw also what Sandra is referring to, you showing that. That was in the most recent one, wasn't it? I think. So sorry, I'm sort of rambling, but I will be looking at that.
He's got a snake belt.
I think this is a couple. I think it's the knight or page of swords. I think he's the paramour of the high priestess.
Hold on, I'm putting you there. Do that again. Well,
there's just something about him that I think. Well, maybe
like,
not.
Yes, my high priestess.
There's something about that headdress and
snake belt.
that profile really gets me.
Yeah.
There's two faces.
Joe G is here, Tanji, and really liked my birthday video that you did. The birthday music. Oh, thanks, Ange. And is the make playing card version a large deck?
It's regular size. I checked it today because I thought that was one Simon showed as an oversized one, but I must be confusing it with another deck he showed. It's 3.5 by 5 or something, what the usual tarot size is?
Yeah, something like that. I do not think I do not think that there is a popcorn in this deck.
No, it's a hand. I mean, okay, it looks like a souffle.
Yeah.
Or a mushroom.
Yeah.
Handing the Four of Cups.
Yeah. Okay, and Robin said, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. Simon said, yes, it's a large deck, and it's 3.5 by 5. And the usual tarot is 2.75 and by 4.75.
Oh.
And Simon said, no, it's oracle sized, Robin.
Oh, that's great. So yeah, it's giant.
So, thanks, Sheila. Look at you. I'm spreading the word. Great people, readers here. I think we are pretty cool, aren't we? With or without the fans. Ooh, the magnifying glass. Look into my eyes. You know, I'm going to have to put a magnifying glass on my Christmas list for my family because I can't see things. Oh, which one's that? Oh, there's the car. There's the hat.
It's the Page of Rods. I don't know what to make of this one. She kind of reminds me of Buffy St. Marie or one of those old kind of
alive, I think.
hippie characters or something. So sort of laced down the front, and little
corset,
subtle hat with a feather in it, and
maybe Slate when Annie Hall was younger.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah,
there you go.
I can see that. Oh, it's got cattails in it too.
Do you like cattails? Is there something you want to tell us, Robin?
They're intriguing. They kind of look like weenies on a stick to be barbecued,
Yeah, pogos. You call them in Canada.
Who in chat wants to take that one? Weenies on a stick.
Says the man with the tiny hand on a stick.
Weenies on a stick. Weenies.
Can you imagine how huge that weenie's going to look next to these hands? Holy crap. Oh my God. Ange says the vintage Aquarian Tarot from Make Playing Cards is the same size as Orshi's Zombie Oracle from Make Playing Cards.
Really?
Yes. So, oh, I just lost a hand.
Well, you have the zombie oracle, don't you?
I do. Do you need to see it?
No, but you noticed that it's larger than
it's
tarot.
Yeah, this really helps. Here, let me even help more. Here, for size comparison, put it next to my hand. Okay, or how about this? This is, this is the oracle, the zombie oracle next to that. So,
but that's the 10 size, the smaller card.
which is what you have in your hand.
Yeah.
So, here I'm trying to be helpful.
It's more than twice as big as a 10. Yeah.
Right?
So,
wow.
Anyhow,
that's a big dick.
So one of the other
big what?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Sandra likes that size. So one of the other one of the cards that I pulled out is also the Tower, and I pulled the Tower out because we don't often see this version of we don't see this view in the Tower of the Tower. We usually see it from a distance. And there's something nice about seeing it from this angle, like you're at the bottom of the tower.
Yeah.
So,
and I like that there's no people flying out of it being.
Yeah, I was just thinking, Jamie's not here, so I know she prefers not to have people flying out of her towers for a variety of reasons. But,
that tower has up action, versus we usually get down action, people falling out of the tower. That one's got the clouds, the lightning, the fire, everything going up, including the tower itself.
Right. If you don't want a downer tower, get the Aquarian Tarot. It's just for you.
With up action.
Act now, we'll throw in a free ice cream.
Call within the next 20 minutes and you can get the special price.
Did you say free ice cream?
I did this. Why can't you see the card? What's happening?
I don't know. Why can't we see it? So.
Oh yes, that's one of my faves too. The Ace
it's a pretty Ace of Cups. Look at the motif on the cup, and it's like water lilies and a sun in the cup. Who doesn't want a sun in their morning cup?
This reminds me of an egg. For some reason, soft-boiled egg. When you put them in your cups and then you crack them and you peel the top part. It's all tippy and drippy and runny, and you put toast in it. And I'm hungry now. But yeah, egg.
Joe G said, "Ooh, raspberry sorbet or sherbet, Robin."
Yeah.
But no water. So, okay. So other cards that you have that you definitely want to talk about in the next 12 minutes that we have.
I apologize for being all over the map today and just throwing cards and opinions every which way.
Are you kidding?
Robin, you're fine. We're having a good time. Okay, so Tanji pulled out the 10 of Cups before you did, Robin.
Okay.
So so there's that. This reminds me of like Zoom and the 70s, the electric company TV shows on PBS.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
Reading Rainbow.
Yeah. But
love it.
And the people in it have very 60s style haircuts that remind me of like some British invasion band or something.
Yes. And you know what I just thought of? This reminds me of Sesame Street. Ard.
Oh yeah.
Paper.
Mutton chops.
Okay.
That guy's got mutton chops.
Simon just messaged me a comparison. There's the two cards, Robin.
Ooh.
Oh.
So you can see how large it is. And I think, Simon, that is the traditional size, not the tin size. Right. So there. Does that help? Thank you, Simon. This was wonderful.
Yeah.
So.
What do you think of the 7 of Cups? That hand coming out looks like
I love it.
It looks like a microphone, doesn't it? That little wand looks like he's holding a microphone.
Yes.
And the helmet looks like it's wired for sound or something.
Oh yeah, it's sort
If
of
you're
yeah.
familiar with the Moog company, synthesizer company,
Mhm.
their art is very much like that with their wires and patches. And I
Yeah.
have a Theramini from Moog company, and it
But
reminds me of that.
yeah, but that helmet is like, it looks so modern to me compared to everything else in the deck.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if there's some kind of translation to the period of the rest of the deck. Is it potentially vines coming out of it or something? I mean, I don't know. It looks like wires in the modern style helmet. It's just,
And
you
I
I
know,
see it
wonder,
as the
Robin, if
future
you can.
astronaut traveling.
Yeah, I also wonder if it's something related to one of the other cards, and I don't know which
maybe.
one it is. Simon did confirm it is traditional sized, yes. And Sheila, I will show the 3 of swords in this deck because
Look
she
at that
loves the 3 of swords in this deck.
severed head in a
Oh,
cup.
so do I. Oddly enough, where is
Maybe
that?
one of those swords cut off that head that's in that cup.
I think you may be
Oh.
right, Robin. And I would imagine it's probably a pentacle, isn't it?
I see
know.
cotton candy though when I see this card, but that's just me. I get hungry when I see this.
You're a cotton candy half full kind of gal.
Right?
Yes.
There's a new name line for candies, like broken heart cotton candy,
Yeah.
severed head popcorn.
Sheila does too.
Does what?
Likes the cotton candy too with Tanji. And
Good.
Sheila said, now I've got to compare my new Palladini and Aquarian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm trying, I'm curious of what this is, that the connection to that image, because it sort of looks like a stormtrooper or something like that. But,
that's how I see it.
Yeah. So
I think since that other image looks like a microphone, it just sort of reminds me of like a helmet with wires attached to, for amplification or microphones or
but that's a wand, right?
Yeah, it is. But it's weird how short it is and how much it looks like a microphone.
But a wand to a musician who sings, a singer.
That's
right?
true. Yeah.
Yeah. Sheila said the new Palladini is more colorful.
Yeah, it is. Wider palette.
Yeah.
Does anybody see the 3 of Cups as the Witches of Eastwick? Because that's what I do. The movie? Don't say you didn't see the Witches of Eastwick, Gerald, or I am leaving right now.
Yeah, I've seen it.
She's bashing me because I haven't
Gerald?
seen. I have seen Witches of Eastwick.
Yeah.
Okay, you're forgiven.
Especially vomiting all those cherries. No, I love that big yellow flower on the top, whatever kind of flower that is.
Love it. But I see
Jackie said that in the 7 of Cups might be like a pilot's hat. I can see that too.
Susan Sarandon, Cher, and Michelle Pfeiffer. That's what I see.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Poor Veronica Cartwright.
Yeah. So let me ask you this as we wrap up. How do you use this deck? And when you've used it for people, what's the response been? First of all, do you use this deck? And what's the response been?
I've used it when I had the original, I guess the 93 deck, 91, 93. When I did readings 26, 27 years ago, I used that deck all the time. And after a few years, I think 4 years, it started to disintegrate and fall apart because I was constantly using it. But the thing when I was doing readings with tarot cards is everything I would say, the cards would just say the same thing.
Right.
So I stopped using cards for a while and just went by third eye. But when I went back to using cards, no deck, to me personally, was as connecting to what I would pick up than the Aquarian Tarot. It's just, I guess, because it was my very first deck, and you never forget your first, and we bonded.
Right.
The deck and
yes. Yeah. And you used it. It's like me and the Robin Wood Tarot. While it's not a perfect deck, I have such a connection to it. And when I look at a new deck, in my mind, I'm looking at the 5 of Wands from the Robin Wood because that's how I learned. So,
Right.
but so there are worse things to have happen, right? So, Robin?
It reminds me of such a transitional time for me, because I didn't realize until today when Tanji said how old she was. I'm 20 years older than Tanji, exactly. And this is sort of during the era when I was still in college but left home to move to New York City. And so there's that kind of thing of the 60s moving into the 70s, and I have like all these memory associations with it. And I don't really read for other people. And I think mostly I just have a nostalgic connection to the imagery. It makes me think of that period in my life when I was in art school, and just really one of the best times of my life.
Yeah.
I mean, Barbara Streisand card. That's what I see here from the 70s.
Yeah. Well, and at least the person in this world is clothed, unlike others where we see.
I prefer that. I'm a cover your bits kind of gal. That's just me.
Right. And you have the 10 of Wands there, right, Robin?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to call this the hat deck.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that, all the hats.
Right.
Why can I not find my 10 of Wands?
Speaking of which, this guy looks like he's got a bunch of eyeballs on his crown.
Yeah.
There you go.
This seems a very sad card to me.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, I can't see his expression. I don't know why it strikes me as sad.
Excuse me.
I mean, he could have, any feeling about, carrying those, but it's funny that from the back of his head, I get sadness, but I'm just reading me into it, I guess, or something. I don't know.
Right. Anne shared, I think that the Aquarian Tarot, the new Palladini Tarot, and the Hanson Roberts Tarot decks are overlapping dimensions or worlds. That's an interesting thought. So, all right. Well, okay.
Can I just say something quick? I wanted to read from David Palladini himself.
Yes.
Despite having lived in society, I always felt I was playing a role, being sensible, congenial, mannerly, and stable. But out in nature, just me and my easel and canvas, the real me emerged. Unstable, mercurial, perhaps antisocial, forever in conflict when encountering shallow falseness in others. Being alone allowed me to talk to the birds and flowers without shame, to shout at gathering storm clouds, telling them to hold off until I finished. The happiest times of my life are when I am alone, watching my hand do amazing things, when my mind blends with nature until I no longer exist. At these moments, I am finally complete. David Palladini. And I resonate 150,000% with that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful. Thank you.
Hi, Angie. Thanks for letting me read that.
Angie is here. Hello. Okay, so Tanji, what do you got coming up on your channel as we wind up? And thank everybody for joining us.
Unless I'm having a brain fart, I don't think I have anything scheduled.
Okay.
But I do random live readings, and they don't stay up long. So if you do check my channel, you'll see my alter ego, Roman Biscotti's musical goofy content. I do have wonderful random guests like Gerald and Regina and Robin. I'd love for you to come on my channel whenever you want. And
that'd be fun. Whatever.
And that's pretty much, I'm spontaneous, so I don't think I have anything planned. I think that's my schedule's open. Call me.
Yeah, call me. Call it, people. And Robin, what do you have coming up on your channel?
I just wanted to insert a note here. I just did a search for the Palladini deck on Amazon, and it came out in '96. So there's a 20-year difference between this deck and the new Palladini. Just so you know that he was probably in a different headspace 20 years later.
Yeah.
But now on my channel, well, I will continue to do walkthroughs of eclectic new weird decks that I don't see everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And I better get the jump on this one because Chris Ann is so popular that probably everybody's going to review it. So I've got to push that out quick. But also I want to remind everybody that Monday nights from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. every week, I do a radio show at luxuriamusic.com. It's an internet show. I pre-record it, and I'm not a talker on the radio, but I do have a really eclectic sense of music.
Yes, you do.
I throw everything in there from the 1920s to today, and I jump decades back and forth, hopscotching through time. And I usually do a theme. Now, next week is a rerun for my Thanksgiving special, and it's all songs that have foods in the title. So that's really fun. Like, I mean, my main course for Thanksgiving is Jive Turkey by the Ohio Players. So that's a perfect example of the kinds of, and Bread and Butter. I can't remember the name of the group from the 60s that did the song called Bread and Butter. But there's a whole range of like Motators is another song. So yeah, I do shows that are cross decades, but they're word related in the titles. So I'll get a theme, and then I'll just pull up titles that have that word in the theme, and you'll get this bizarre buffet, no pun intended, of music. And you can also download after it airs live Monday nights, within a half an hour, you can download it if you missed it. So you could go there now if you wanted to and download my show from last night. It's Luxurium. Oh, maybe, I don't know if Jackie can find it or put it in. It's luxuriamusic.com. It's all one word. And my show is the Dark Day Escape Pod.
And you also have a Facebook group that people can join, right?
Yes, I have my personal page, Robin Crutchfield, has everything you'd ever want to know about me and a lot of stuff you don't want to know. And I also have a Toadstool Tarot page now that I throw stuff on that either appeals tarot-wise or spiritual-wise or things like that.
I think I found it. Let me know if this is the right one. Oh, she got it.
Ange put it in.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ange.
Yes. And so I have a casual with Julia Cuccia Watts, the creator of the Journey into Egypt Tarot, next Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And next Tuesday, I have a deck casual with the lovely Jen Science to Soul Tarot and Transformation, and we're talking about the Wild Unknown Tarot. So, but thank you very much for liking and subscribing to these guests, where you can actually see tiny hands and fans. So, yeah. Wow. We're going to see those tiny hands everywhere. So, Helen said, thank you, everyone. I enjoyed your broadcast immensely. Thank you, Helen. And if, I'll reach out to you about that download. So.
Peace out.
Ooh, Lori, you should join us. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Subscribe or else.